Thanks for stopping by. I'm Anna. I'm a multicultural mom of three, and I show you how I beautified and organized my 1892 home in Minnesota. I've been waiting for the natural light, and it's just not going to happen for me today, or like apparently ever this spring. In my entryway, this was one of the biggest projects that I have done in my house. A little bit more of a dramatic change for sure that made it feel more like my home. So I will show you around too of how it is currently. It's still work in progress. A couple months after moving in was about March 2020, and I started with this vestibule area just off of the entryway by removing the wallpaper. It was a lot of soaking and scraping. There was only one layer. There's a close-up of the pattern, maybe from the 80s or 90s. And it took me about 16 hours to get this off of the plaster and lath wall. So it made quite a mess, took some patching, but then I eventually painted it Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray. You can see it there. Later, that brown box on the wall was the doorbell that was no longer working, so I took that down, and then I moved on to taking down those bifold doors I just showed you. They were broken. Then I started peeking up under the drop ceiling. I was so curious what was under there, and much to my delight, the original porch ceiling from 1892 was still there. I removed the drop ceiling and did a lot of patching. I moved the light fixture, and I made it look like that hole that was used to put in insulation before was some kind of intentional door by getting some beadboard. It was really hard to add the trim up along the ceiling because that original wood I just showed you is impossible to screw through. It is so hard. And I didn't have the right tools to do a mitered edge, so it has kind of a rustic feel, but I feel like that kind of goes with the original porch vibes of this entryway. So after the wallpaper was removed in here, I painted it the same agreeable gray, and I painted the doors and trims as well. Right now, this is holding Annika's toys. I do eventually want to organize her toys in a more Montessori way and have a shelf for her every day, even if it's just of playthings. But for now, that's where we keep everything. This artwork I thrifted when the Bell Museum moved locations. That's a science museum here. You may have noticed that bench was originally there. It came with the house. It's an old church pew, and I loved it. And then I made that cushion with just a body pillow and fabric wrapped around it. It's a great place to put on shoes. So here's the vestibule currently. If you're interested in more before and afters, please subscribe. Thanks for coming by, and come again soon. Hey, hey.